Hello there, dear listeners, and welcome. If you're fascinated by the rich spiritual heritage of Hinduism, you have come to the right place. Today, we embark on a journey through the epic characters of the Puranas, timeless stories that have been passed down for generations, shaping the wisdom, values, and traditions of Hindu culture. The Puranas are not just mythological tales, they are profound narratives filled with divine wisdom, heroic deeds, and the eternal dance of dharma, the righteousness, and karma, the destiny. From the mighty Vishnu and his incarnations to the fearless goddess Durga, from the ever wandering sage Narada to the noble yet tragic warrior Karna, these characters teach us lessons that remain relevant even today. So sit back, open your heart, and join me as we step into the legendary world of Puranas. As we begin any auspicious endeavor by seeking the blessings of Lord Ganapati, let us start our journey with him. Ganapati, Ganesha, the Lord of Fortune, the bestower of knowledge, and the remover of obstacles. May Lord Ganesha bless us with wisdom and remove all obstacles from our path. Now let's begin. We always desire that whatever work we begin should go on, come to a conclusion without hurdles, and get us the desired fruit. The enthusiasm with which we begin should continue till the end. It is prudent to always think of the pros and cons before we actually begin the work. But sometimes, even though we plan our work meticulously and execute it with great care and precision, we meet with unforeseen hurdles and our efforts fail. It is fine that we propose to do things with honesty and diligence, but there are forces beyond our control. They bring hurdles in our way and make our efforts futile. In the same way, there are divine forces which can remove all hurdles if we are sincere and they help us to succeed. The chief of such divine forces is Ganapati. He is also called Gananayaka. It is a custom handed down to us by our forefathers that we worship Lord Ganapati before we begin any good work. Who is Ganapati? The Brahma Vaivarta Purana has the following details about Ganapati. This story is slightly different from many current stories. It is interesting and meaningful. Sage Narayana narrates this story to Sage Narada. Parvati, the daughter of Shaila, was determined to marry Lord Shiva and she began to perform severe vratas to please Shiva. Renouncing everything else, she concentrated on Shiva and began to meditate on him. Finally, she pleased the Lord. The marriage of the divine couple was celebrated in a grand manner. After the marriage, the divine couple came to a beautiful grove to enjoy the beauty of nature. They stayed there for a long time. One day, while they were in a happy mood, Parvati said to Mahadeva, Deva, will you bless me with a son? In reply, Mahadeva said, Devi, I am going to suggest to you the best among vratas, which will fulfill all your desires. The vrata is called Punyaka, and you have to begin it on the 13th day of the darker half of the moon of Magha. He continued and gave the details of the vrata. Parvati began the vrata after a bath at an auspicious time on the day prescribed for it. She took the vrata diksha. Sage Sanat Kumara, the son of Brahmadeva, was the priest on the occasion. The entire Kailash put on a bright and colorful appearance. The main road was sprinkled with holy and scented water. The Shiva temple, which was decorated with precious stones, was decorated tastefully with mango leaves and plantain leaves. All devas, sages, and others came to attend the celebration. Shiva himself was present to welcome all the guests and invitees. All the arrangements were made for their stay, food, and other comforts which were meticulously planned. Devendra was made the chief of the gifts committee. Kubera was the chief of finance committee. Surya was in charge of overall supervision. Varuna was the chief of food catering committee and in fact was seen serving food to guests himself. Lord Narayana's consort Lakshmi herself served as chief cook and prepared tasty dishes. After the meal, the chief among Brahmins offered divine tambulam to Mahavishnu. At the end of the celebration, Lord Shiva looked at Brahmadeva and addressed the following words to Lord Mahavishnu. Bhagavan, Parvati is beginning the Vrata Punyaka for the purpose of getting a son and be blessed with everything auspicious. I request you to bless all her endeavors. Bhagwan Vishnu gently smiled and said, Lord Shiva, the Vrata your consort Parvati is going to begin is the king among Vratas. Not so easy to perform, but is sure to bestow all that she wishes for and is a sure way to salvation. This vrata will accrue to the performer the benefits of 1000 Rajasurya yagas, but at the same time it is very expensive. As a result, it cannot be performed by all women, however virtuous they might be. When Parvati completes it, Sri Krishna, who shines brightly in Gokula, is going to lie on her lap and play around her. He will be called Ganesha. Just by thinking about him, all hurdles will melt into thin air. When Parvati and Parmeshwara heard these words, they were very happy. Parvati performed the vrata under the guidance of the great sage Sanat Kumara. He installed the sacred Kalasham and invoked Lord Krishna into it. Parvati offered very rare and sacred things to the Lord. Then they offered sesame and ghee to the sacrificial fire 300,000 times. Parvati continued the vrata for 1 year, observing every aspect of the vrata without neglecting even the minutest detail. The vrata was thus completed. Sage Sanat Kumara said, Parvati, give me my dakshina now. O holy sage, ask for anything. Ask for a rare thing and it will be given, Parvati said. Please give your husband as my fees, the sage said. Parvati was shocked at the unnatural demand. She did not know what to do. She was about to faint. It was strange that Parvati, who was known as the Mohanashini, should be seen in that state. Everyone gathered there, including Vishnu, Brahma, and other sages, were about to burst into laughter. They sent Shiva to console and comfort Parvati. He went to Parvati and said, in our activities done to appease the Devas or Pitrus or in our daily religious activities, if we do not follow up by giving dakshina, we will not get the desired result. In fact, our work will be considered to be complete only after we offer dakshina. It is believed that those who perform religious activities without giving dakshina go to the city of Kala Sutra after death. They are said to be reborn as poor people and will be troubled by their enemies. If you promise to give and then fail to do so, the sin increases. Whatever is to be given should be given at the right time. If one fails in this duty, the sin accrued would get doubled. Therefore, O virtuous lady, give to the priest what he has desired and save me. If I am safe, everything will be all right. The sages completed all the homas and other rituals and said, Devi, no inauspicious thing will happen as long as we are here. The radiant faced Sanat Kumara said, Please give me your master, great Shiva, as my dakshina, or else give me the result of the tapasya you have done so far. If I fail to get it, I will not only take back all the fruits you are going to get from this great vrata, but all the auspicious things you have acquired in life so far. In reply, Parvati said, O great one, what is the use of a vrata which will cause the loss of my husband? What do we gain by offering dakshina, following righteous conduct, or by getting a son? Is it not like worshipping the tree by disconnecting the earth from its roots? Is it not like protecting the body and in the process losing its life itself? What do we gain by such actions? Though the son belongs to the father's clan, don't you think that his roots lie in his father? When the capital is lost, isn't it equal to losing the very business? When the Devas and sages were at a loss to decide what was to be done next, a divine aircraft was seen flying in the sky. Lord Narayana was seated in it. The Devas and sages welcomed him respectfully and made him sit on a beautiful seat. Then Bhagwan Narayana said, O Devas, the vrata performed by Parvati aims at educating the world. It has not been done for her selfish gains. She is the one who bestows the fruits of vratas and tapas on people who perform the same. It is her Maya that pervades the entire world. Then the Lord addressed the following words to Parvati Mata. Shive, please give your husband as dakshina to the high priest and complete the vrata. Then give the appropriate price and get back your life source. Like the holy cow, Shiva possesses the same sacred body as Vishnu does. Hence, you can pay the price of a holy cow to the Brahmin and get back your husband. So saying, Lord Narayana disappeared. The Devas and sages felt happy when they heard the sacred words of Lord Narayana. Parvati got ready to give her husband as dakshina to Sanat Kumara. The Purna Huti was over and Parvati gave Shiva as dakshina to the priest. Sanat Kumara said, Swasti, and received his dakshina. Just for a moment, out of fear, Parvati's tongue dried up, but she composed herself immediately and said in all humility, O the best among Dvijas, a sacred cow is equal in price to my husband. I am going to give you 100,000 beautiful cows. Give me back my husband. Being away from him, I am like a body without the soul. I am incapable of doing anything. I will give dakshina to all the other Brahmins only when I get back my husband. Sanat Kumara said, Devi, I am a Brahmin. What can I do with 100,000 cows? Before this gem of a gift, the cows are nothing. I have decided to go around the world, keeping the sky-clad Lord before me. When children see him, they clap their hands and laugh in great merriment. So saying, he called Shiva and made him sit near him. Parvati was shocked. She sat on the ground, unable even to think. At that point of time, all those who gathered there saw a very bright light, equal to 1,000 suns. In the middle of that bright light, Parvati saw the image of Lord Krishna. She was filled with great happiness. She had a desire to have such an exquisitely handsome child. All those present tried their best to appease Sanat Kumara and finally succeed in prevailing on him to return Lord Shiva back to Parvati. Then Parvati Devi entertained everyone by providing them with a grand dinner. She also gave them tambula and dakshina in abundance. In this way, she completed the great vrata. At the end, Shiva and Parvati also ate food and had tambula. On completing all the rituals, Shiva and Parvati entered their palace. While they were doing so, they heard someone speak. The voice said, Mahadeva, I am a weak and poor Brahmin suffering from hunger and thirst. With the hope of getting a meal, I have come to you from a great distance. I surrender to you. Parvati looked back and saw a man in rags with unkempt hair which had not been oiled for months, standing at a distance. The lean figure had bright and shining teeth where there was a holy sign, the sign of a Nama on his forehead. Leaning against a walking stick, begging for food, he said, "Hey Shiva, what are you doing?" "Amma, Parvati, come here quickly. When the mother is around, how can children suffer starvation?" On hearing the words, Shiva and Parvati came to the door. The Brahmin, who was very weak and tired, bent low and made courtesy to the divine couple. He began to sing the praises of Shiva and Parvati. His voice was very melodious, and Shiva was very much pleased with the Brahmin and said, "O best among Brahmins, where have you come from? What is your name?" With great love and respect, Parvati said, "Who you are a scholar in the four Vedas, and you have taken the trouble to come to my house as a guest. Playing host to a guest is very sacred and its benefits are infinite. It is my fortune to serve you." Then the Brahmin said, "O mother of all Vedas and knowledge, worship me according to the ways suggested in the Vedas. A hungry person who has been fasting for days, who has been suffering from ill health, desires to have a meal of his choice. I am really suffering from hunger and thirst." Annapurne said, "Tell me what you like. Even if it is not available in the three worlds, you will get it. I shall take your desire as an order and it will be fulfilled." The Brahmin said, "Mother, you are childless. Consider me an orphan as your child." Then slowly and in a flattering voice he said, "I have heard that you have successfully completed the Punyaka Vrata. You must have collected a lot of rare materials for the Vrata. Offer me the tasty and delicious food to eat, clean, pure, and sweet smelling water to drink, and divine tambula to chew. And you should offer me all this until my rickety body gets filled up and my stomach becomes round. That is, until I become a Lambodara, a man with a big belly. Your Lord Ashutosh is the Creator Himself and is capable of granting all kinds of wealth. You, being an incarnation of Mahalakshmi, are capable of granting the power of glory. Hence, grant me the exquisite throne made of precious gems, the fine and exotic jewelry, the purest of clothes, the rare Mahamantra of Sri Hari, devotion to Sri Hari, the knowledge of Mrityunjaya, the most satisfying ability to give charity, fulfill all my desires. O Mother, is there anything you cannot give to your son? I have been performing severe penance. I have been following the rules of Dharma and carrying out karmas. However, I have never touched any of the karmas relating to birth, death, disease, or old age. O Mother, bestower of the fruits of karma, you are the omniscient and omnipresent Devi. Still, you have performed severe penance and vratas in order to educate the world on how to do the same in accordance with the rules and regulations. In every kalpa, Sri Krishna, who inhabits earth, will be on your lap and play in the form of Ganesha. As he kept talking, the Brahmana vanished. Parvati saw an exquisitely divine child lying on a swing and playing. Its skin was glowing like the petals of sampangi flower. One could see the brightness of 1,000 moons emanating from its body. It was a great treat to see the child. If one draws out the essence of all beauty existing in this world, it would not be equal to the beauty of the child. It was playing with its cute limbs and enjoying the beauty of its bedroom. The Brahmin who had come as a guest had disappeared, and that put Parvati into great sadness. Oh God, that old Brahmin who suffered from hunger and thirst disappeared so suddenly, and I could not play host to him. Where has he gone? If a guest leaves the house without receiving anything from the host, it is not good for the house to which he came as a guest. Parvati began to wail. She asked Shiva to find out where he was and bring him to her. Just then she heard a voice. It said, "O mother of the world, cool down. Just go into your bedroom and see. As a result of the Punyaka Vrata which you have performed, Sri Krishna is born as your son. A divine child is born to you. He is the one who will be worshipped by all before beginning any activity. He is the one who will destroy all hurdles in one's path when one simply remembers him. Go and see him." On hearing the voice, Parvati entered her bedroom, and to her great joy, she saw an incomparably handsome child whose eyes looked like the petals of a lotus lying in a cradle. A very bright beam of light was coming out of the child's body. The child was moving its limbs and crying, probably because it was hungry. As soon as Parvati saw the child, her happiness knew no bounds. She lifted the child gently, placed it on her lap, and began to feed milk. All the devas and sages were happy when they heard the news of Parvati and Shiva getting a child at the end of the vrata. Mahavishnu blessed the child and said, "Dear child, son of Parvati, may you live for long. May you be equal to your father in wisdom, to me in courage, and may you become all knowing." While blessing the child, Brahmadeva said, "May you become successful in everything. May you be worshipped first and by all." All the devas and their consorts said, "Dear child, may you become the best among the wise. May you have great memory power, the power of comprehension, of logical thinking, scientific reasoning. May you become the master of all the Vedas and Shastras. May you become an expert in whatever you do. May those who worship you get happiness and the strength they desire. May you become a great Siddha Yogi as to your father Lord Shiva. May all hurdles vanish by just remembering you." The best and the greatest among Grahas, Shaneshwara, came to see the divine child. He was black complexioned, bright faced, and was dressed in blue silk. He looked radiant like mountain peaks engulfed in flames. He made courtesy to the Trinity. Then he entered Parvati Devi's palace. Parvati Devi appeared in all her beauty, dressed in her best, chewing pan with the divine child on her lap. She was seated on her golden throne. 5 maids were attending on her. He touched Parvati's feet and stood before her with his head downcast, eyes half closed. Shiva, who was worshipped in all the 3 worlds, smiled and asked how he was. Then Parvati said, "Graheshwara, why are you standing with your eyes half closed? Why don't you look at me and the child straight?" Saneshwara said, "Mother, everything living being has to endure whatever he or she has gained in the form of sin or merit. They enjoy or suffer in proportion to the bad or good they have done. My sad story is not something I can tell everyone, but you being the preserver and the protector of the world, I can confide my tale of woes in you. I preferred to be alone from the childhood. I was interested in tapasya. This led me towards detachment. But my parents forcefully made me marry the daughter of Chitraratha Gandharva. The wheel of time went on rolling. One day I was deeply immersed in my tapasya when my wife, who had just had a bath, called me. Her words did not reach my ears. She was angry and cursed me, saying, "Whomever you see directly will get destroyed." In a way, she was not wrong. She was disgusted with my behavior and was very angry. I tried to calm her down, but she refused to take back the curse. For fear of causing harm to others, I dare not look at anyone. Therefore, I always remained downcast. On listening to his words, Parvati and other Kinnaris laughed. Then Parvati said, "Everything in this world is under the control of Ishvara. You just look at me and my child." Shaneshwara was in a fix. He did not know what to do for a moment. Shall I look at Mata Parvati's child? If the divine child is put to danger, who will help it? How can I disobey Jaganmata's order? He thought. Then the righteous Shani invoked the name of Dharma and looked at Parvati's son. He did not look at Parvati. He looked at the child from the corner of his left eye. Shani felt his throat getting parched. As soon as his cursed sight fell on the child, the divine child's head got severed from its body and flew in the direction of Goloka. Parvati was so sad that she began to wail and fell unconscious. There was commotion everywhere. Lord Narayana, who was watching this spectacle, got on his carrier, Garuda, and travelled very fast in the direction of north. On the bank of the river Pushpabhadra, he saw an elephant sleeping with its head northward. The elephant's wife and children were also present. He immediately cut the head of the male elephant with his wheel, loaded it on the back of the Garuda, and was about to start. The female elephant, which woke up, began to trumpet loudly. The baby elephants also began to cry loudly. But when the female elephant realized that it was the divine figure, the Lord, that was in front of it, it lifted up its trunk and prayed in all humility. The Lord, who is mercy incarnate, touched the body of the elephant with its divine feet, created a head for the elephant, grafted it on the body, and made it come back to life. Later, this same elephant became the famous character we read about in the story Gajendra Moksha. The Lord blessed it and its family with a long life. Then the Lord flew very fast towards Kailasha. On reaching Kailasha, he lifted Parvati's child in an embrace, fixed the elephant's head on its body, and breathed life into it. The child shone in great lustre. Lord Vishnu placed this child on Parvati's lap and went back to Vaikuntha. After a few months, he came back to Kailasha again. He put a Vanamala around the child's neck and the divine Kaustubha on his head, and he worshipped Ganapati in the manner prescribed by Shastras. Then he said, Child, I am the first one to have worshipped you. As a result of this, you have become Yogendra, and you will be worshipped by one and all. So saying, Lord Srihari initiated Ganapati to Brahmagyana. The Devas and sages joined the Lord, and they named him thus Vignesha, Ganesha, Heramba, Gajanana, Lambodara, Ekadanta, Surpakarna, and Vinayaka were the divine names given to him.